I didn't think you would. So we got our new mics, CockoftheWalkPodcast. Good morning. We're gonna try it with just my mic and see if Shaun picks up. I'll just stay real close. You won't be tethered to me, but you'll just be real close.
I'll put my arm around you, buddy.
No, on a walk?
It's a little warm out.
Yeah, it's because it rained a lot last night.
Yeah, it's humid.
How was your night last night?
Oh,
it was long? Very long?
Yeah, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's back to normal, which is good.
Do you feel like things are stabilizing into a world of normalcy?
No.
No? Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, we're doing what we can do.
What's and that's just for work, or is that in life, or is that ever?
School situations. We've talked about that way too much already.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's still going on for people. This is the second week of school. This is a Monday.
It just seems like here's an email. That's what your information is. We're going to send you an email. There's no schedule, no put together plan. It's just here's tomorrow's idea.
Yeah.
You know, at 5 in the morning.
We don't have to walk our same path either if it's Monday and they're going to mow and everything. But
yeah. So that's what I'm dealing with. Just random. Here's an email. This is the plan.
And your kids are getting it, or they just kind of?
The kids seem fine.
Yeah.
I would be ticked off.
If you were a kid, or?
I hate the idea of not knowing what I'm supposed to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's kind of what's been happening with work. Things have been changing up. You know, I'm used to going in and having a set routine, and things have been changing.
At work?
Yeah, they've been shifting some people around and things, and it makes it more difficult, but it's not hard. It's work.
Yeah. One thing I was going to ask you about today, which we said we'd get to, but who knows when, right? Legacy. Talk about legacy. I don't have anything with that one word in mind. So I ask you, like, what do you think of that word, and what's your legacy?
Well, I like that idea. But I also feel like you've had an incredibly roller coaster week last week.
Yeah.
And we have not addressed any of that, at least on the podcast.
Okay.
And I don't know if you want to talk about it. I don't want
you want to go
avoid it. But
yeah. We can talk about that's maybe where this is going.
Come up, but like I said, I know you went through a huge roller coaster. You were employed. You're not employed.
Yeah.
You had an application out that looked really good, then got denied.
Yeah.
You had.
And speaking about that application, so we can roll into all this kind of good stuff. That application, they did the one that got denied. That really is the heartbreaker. Yeah. That one was because it seemed like it was going my way. It seemed like it was going to be
you were going back and forth.
Yeah, it seemed like it was going to be not only a decent job that I could have opportunity in, but it was the one job so far that I found that initially paid the best, about the highest pay rate. It had. We
mentioned it on the last podcast. It was where I work.
It was where you work.
And you got shift diff too. Because
I got a shift diff. And it's not like, it was almost like it seemed like, you know, not everything's going to be bad here. You know, you wait long enough and you try hard and you get something eventually. And what I realized is in doing that situation, it's worse than I could have ever imagined. And it's not just worse in the job opportunities, but it's worse in the social economic realm in general, almost on every level, because not only would that have helped me stabilize myself financially, maybe even get an apartment, but then as I was looking into apartments, I realized, just stumbling upon stuff, that interest rates are as low as they've ever been. Like that's what you'll hear. They're super low. So the house that I'm losing that needs to be refinanced, whoever refinances it is going to save tens of thousands, like at least thousands of dollars doing that. That's like a perk. It's almost like there's a perk to just have a divorce right now. Like, get divorced, you can refinance the house, you'll save money, and if you didn't like your husband, well, he's out on his ass, and you actually make money from that. And that kind of hurt. Then it was like, but also, since he's out and you got the Bambinas, dude, then you're gonna get paid monthly no matter if he has a job or not, financial obligation.
Yep.
So you'll save money by refinancing house. You'll make money that you weren't making before because, you know, last year you weren't making this money. It was just part of the union that we had. And then the car is in my, like I refinanced the car, which it went from a 0.9 interest rate to a 2.9 interest rate. So that, in that sense, even though they're low, I actually, by refinancing something, had my rate go up, you know? So I'm just realizing that it's,
you're getting boned
worse than I ever imagined. Yeah.
Up and down. Yeah.
And again, I try to put that all aside just for that hope that I'll see my kids sometime.
Yeah.
But as we found out again last week, that is a hard no until I resolve everything that the court wants me to resolve.
Yeah, because the court decision is what, at least I know, your ex is banking on.
Yeah.
It's like he can't do it because the court says he can't.
And you mentioned, what did you mention, your interpretation of events about just not doing anything and how it fucks me?
Yeah, I think she's already set the deck. I mean, again, I'm speculating, obviously. But it seems like all the cards that in all the gears she wanted to set in motion are turning, are already been played. Whatever analogy you want to come up with. Yeah, she's played her hand, she showed her cards, she set the gears, they're already turning. And now she just doesn't care because it's already working. It's magic. It's already doing.
It's
what
in
it
play.
needs to do.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah. So like
that
she
analogy
doesn't have to do anything. It's already done.
No, the weight of the burden that's already been imposed is going to eventually fatigue me out. And when it fatigues me out, I'm crushed. And now I'm sitting here trying to lift it up, trying to piss, you know, and it's like,
turn the gears back.
There's absolutely no reason for her to lift a finger. It's already, like you said, it's already been played. Yeah. And in that same sense, when you said that, I was like, oh, really? That's a good perspective on it, because I didn't see it that way. I guess in my head I thought it was.
Hey, Charlie.
Hey, there's Charlie. Charlie. There was a tit for tat going on.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just, here's what I've done. Yeah, will you survive?
And I said to you, being blunt, I said I think you've given her too much credit. Like you're putting situations like she did this intentionally to screw me over, and I'm like, dude, she's not doing anything. It's already going. It's already started. So whatever intention it was maybe premeditated to get it to this point, she's not even putting any effort in, and you're getting fucked.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. You know?
I do think about that. And I get, like, she's not in charge of the interest rates. Do you know what I mean? Like, that kind of stuff. Like,
technically, she's not in charge of the criminal charge anymore.
The state
nothing to do with
has
her
nothing
anymore.
to say. All the, like you said, all those things have already been played. Yeah. How will you react to it? And I'm like, well, I'll try to get one at a time resolved. And the hardest one to resolve of all of those is, well, if you don't want it to get worse, forfeit custody. Yeah. That's the hardest pill to swallow out of all this, is forfeit it. Because that little, like, I want it, like, that's where I'm getting screwed. Yeah. Because that's where it promotes more additional conflict.
Well,
you know,
it's just like the criminal charge. It's like, okay, negotiate down, plead down. Plead down means you do time.
Yeah, do time, or at least ruin huge fine that I can't afford. Maybe both.
But that's pleading down because
because I don't have.
Hey, I'm not guilty, but I'll still make a deal. I mean,
yeah.
What kind of system is this?
It's not a very fair one. That's, to be honest. I think I've talked about that, is that there's the difference between what's right and what's wrong, and what's illegal and legal, lawful and unlawful. Those don't always stay. So I'm sure there's someone going, well, if it's legal, it must be right, and if it's illegal, it must be wrong.
That doesn't line up.
I don't know. I'm living through a situation that doesn't line up with that exactly.
So, again, it's not.
So in my legacy.
Well, no, I'm not good in the interview format.
Yeah.
Question-wise, what about the position you held and how you were kind of let go? How did that make you feel? Like, what happened?
Oh,
If you want to dig into that.
so
I mean, you were
without
working-
mentioning the company's name, but I was doing retail, and they hired me on at a low pay rate, and I was kind of adamant about like, hey, I need to. I have
you were
bills to
working
pay.
with teenagers and
Yeah, it's
that
a
wasn't
teen wage.
great. Yeah.
So teen wage is somewhere between $8 and $13. You know.
Retail.
Yeah, and I'm like, hey, something better than nothing, stepping stone to something better maybe. Since day 2, it was like, Mr. Brendan, can I go on my lunch break? And I'm sitting there like, I don't even know what that means. I don't know, so they already,
Second day,
they already kind of looked at me like in that role. So I was like, hey, what's the most responsibility you guys can give me and the highest pay rate for that responsibility? So they're like, well, we can move you to a different area, have you supervise it, and
you're almost retail manager.
yeah, and
at a point,
like the 4th down from the top, store manager, and then 4th down. I'm like, absolutely, gives that pay rate, let's do it. All right, we just have to run what they were calling a key holders background check. A little different than the initial background check, and I'm like, do it, let's do this, I need this, let's do it. So they're running that, and on I believe it was Friday.
your
on
5th day in, right?
Yeah, like one of my within a week of being in there, my 5th day on Friday, whatever. I'm working. I'm showed up early, like I do, to make sure I try to get this job done and look responsible. And as I'm working, I get my supervisor at that time coming up to me going, well, I got an email from HR saying that they want to speak with you, so I'll get you the number. I'm kind of like, oh, okay, no, red flags pop off, but at the same time, I'm like, don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Here we go. And then within 5-10 minutes of that, there was an exchange between the store manager and the assistant store manager, where they communicated, and the assistant store manager told me about this communication, where next week, which is now, I'll be taken, I'll be put on paid administrative leave.
Yeah.
So pretty much they're saying the shift schedules you have.
Here's the mower.
Yeah, here's the mower. Right? The shift schedules you have, you'll be paid to work those. I mean, not to work them, right? Good God. You'll be paid not to work those. You'll be until we figure this situation out. And I'm like, well, that sucks. I mean, I came here, I've been here for just a short while, and now you guys have to pay me not to work? That's not going to go well for me. Like, when does that go well for anybody, right? Yeah, so I'm like, go ahead.
Yeah, and I didn't want to dig too deep if you don't want to share, but you had kind of a break the day before with, just the situation as it is. Things were really bad.
Oh,
and then you go to work, and it's like, oh, you don't need to work anymore. And then you get the email that says, oh yeah, that job you've been pursuing is off the table.
Correct.
I mean, just this cascade of like.
So we can go back. Yeah, we can go back another one day, just to make sure that it's aired out. The day before, I had to do a mediation, or I was planned for a mediation, and I haven't had that Rule 35 done, and I kept thinking I should get the results of that for my mediation, to go into a mediation where it's not even determined by the person who's determining it if I'm of sound mind, is unfair, because then you're in this mediation and you're expected to negotiate and under good faith. And how do you do that if the other party's like, everything you say we believe is coming from a person who doesn't know reality? And I'm like, how do I negotiate with another team who believes,
who already has
with an opposition who goes, he's not in reality. Everything he says that we don't like, it's because he has mental health issues, and everything that we get out of him, it's because, oh, he's completely sane to give us that.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was putting me, no matter what I did, at a huge deficit.
Yeah, disadvantage.
And I felt like there was something needed to be done to ensure two things. One, that negotiation is done fairly, and sound in a realm of both of us are at the same realm of sanity or something. And two, if there is an issue and I haven't just been diagnosed, I deserve to be diagnosed and I deserve to treat it before we go any farther.
And I think the most blatant, or not blatant, the simplest way to phrase this would be that you don't have all the information to go in there with a fair judgment. To
get anything fair.
That's how I saw it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have the information.
I was going in there only to give up stuff that they were willing to give anyway, or to take, you know, and anything I actually wanted to negotiate, you weren't in that was always going to be used against me. Well, we have to wait and see.
You're not in a position for negotiation.
And it's not that I want to be difficult. It's not like I want to be difficult, but I have a real inkling that they don't want to be fair.
I think
so I don't want to be difficult, and they don't want to be fair.
I think the option to delay was your call, and it was a good call.
Was it?
Delay until you're in a better position
for this to happen. But then again, like the next day, so I'm already sitting there like, I really want to see my kids.
You need that Rule 35. You need the results from that. And that delay, that not information that's hanging over your head is a mind fuck.
Yeah, it is.
You are going through a lot of shit because you don't know the results of that. Because the results come back and say, look, I don't know, worst case, he's got a borderline personality disorder, needs medication. Why is he not in the hospital getting medication?
Well, yeah, why is he? And I was talking to my brother about like the benefit of being tested for bipolar, being tested for schizophrenia, manic depressive, depression in general, anxiety in general, all these things, borderline personality disorder, split personality, whatever it is, being tested for these things. Good God, we shouldn't have taken this route.
We can
just go straight, dude.
We'll switch.
Yeah, and the benefit is to know, because it's not illegal to have these things, you know, like, oh, we found out you have a mental health issue. It's not illegal to have things, and it's not a bad thing to have these things in this perspective, even though society kind of makes it sound like it's a bad thing. But it's a bad thing not to address it.
Exactly.
And I think that was one of the problems with the marriage, was to address this with my significant other meant to expose that I'm wrong, you're right, and since you're right, you win. And what do you win? You deserve your divorce anyway. So it was a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, and I can kind of see that happening right now, because there is no like, oh, my husband was like, there's no, my husband was sick, I feel bad, I knew he needed help, he's getting help, let's make sure we keep our family together. It's, I don't deserve this, and I'll never, I'm so hurt by the things done and said that I don't care that they came from,
I could be putting words in your ex's mouth, but it was basically, he needs help, and I'm not here to support him.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, again, I'm putting words in her mouth, but that's my perception. Like, she wants you to get help, maybe she cares enough that, you know, he should really get himself straightened out, but I'm not going to be there for that.
But look at and you say like, maybe she cares, and I think I have wishful thinking, like, oh, she must, because I'm the father of her children. But it seems by the actions, or as you said, the inaction, it kind of tells a different story, because not only am I getting withdrawn from my family, which is my support system out here, like, if you do care, you would find a way to say, listen, courts, listen, this, I don't like that you're doing this with someone I care about, but instead it's there until it's not, it's there until it's not. And you're like, okay, so if I get sick, get in a car accident, I'm in the hospital on my deathbed, well, the court order says you can't, so I'm not gonna, so I would die without my children seeing me one last time because I'm sick and the court order says no. That's what
that would be her defense.
That would, oh, I couldn't go there. Why? Because the court order said I couldn't. That inactivity, or that paints a different picture. And the same thing is, well, we've been wanting to get assistance in our marriage for years.
Hey, you talked
And
about
now,
therapy.
yeah, like going to marriage counseling and all that stuff.
Couple counselors.
And now that I'm like, and I was really adamant, like, yeah, we should. It's too late for that. So now that I'm like, well, I still have to get some if we don't have to get some.
Yeah.
I told you so.
Yeah.
And that hurts so bad because it makes me know by a show that there was I give up. I give up because I don't like you.
Yeah.
I don't like you, which is against the vows.
Of course.
So
you know, in
yeah.
sickness and in health.
And so now I'm going to turn this to you real quick,
Oh.
if you don't mind discussing.
No.
Your wife had cancer.
True. Yeah.
She's over it. There was some
Breast
complications.
cancer, yeah, breast
but
cancer,
when she got that, I mean, tell me about imagine when she got that, what you didn't do, going, you're sick and I don't like that.
I'd never.
Bye.
I'd never do that.
We fought a lot. I'm out because now you're sick, and I knew you were sick. I knew this was something wrong with you, not me. But anyway, tell if you want to tell.
I mean, that's again, it's not incredibly personal. There's not much to tell. I mean, she had breast cancer and had tons of complications, and me, I guess, being a man, looked at it as like, there's a problem. Let's solve this. Once it's solved, it's over. And that came back to bite me in the ass a little bit because it wasn't over. Sure, cancer was done, chemo was over.
Yeah.
But she fell into a huge depression and started drinking and turned to other things, and it was a harder row to hoe after the fact.
So the physical issue, the physical
for her,
health
sure it was
issue.
hell.
Yeah.
Sure it was
for her.
And I was there.
Yeah.
You know, going through the entire thing, and double mastectomy. The whole thing was just hell for both of us.
Yeah.
I mean, her more, but I'm their support system, and it wasn't fun. I mean, it was just absolutely
No, it was
moments, in
there's a lot of stress on it, and the kids are already born by this time, right?
Yeah.
So you have 2 kids in your life. You have that still need to be parented. They still need to be guided. You have one person who's physically sick.
Yeah.
Getting over that sickness creates more mental health things that need to get over too. It wasn't just, oh, you're done with this, goodbye. And you, I think one of the things I mentioned, you say, everyone, and this is fair, everyone asks, how's Dora? Or how's, how's your wife? How's your wife?
I'm going to say this like up front, like my wife understands. So this isn't me being an asshole. This isn't me being selfish.
Yeah.
She completely understands. Never once in all of her treatments, all of her chemos, all of every bullshit thing that she had to go through, never once did anybody ask me if I was okay.
Like, how are you?
How's Shaun doing?
Yeah.
No one.
And not that that's it's worth acknowledging. There's something to be said about that. Not that you're saying I wish someone would have.
No.
But
Like
it was
I said,
worth acknowledging. No one did.
My wife completely understands. She goes, that was unfair for you. She's sick.
Yeah.
She was sick. She was sick. She was going through basically the threat of death from cancer.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is unfair to you. And it didn't hit me until basically we got the green light. Everything's cool. You're good. And I looked back and I went, Jesus Christ, where was my support system? Where were the people that were supporting me? Now, don't get me wrong. My mother retired early, moved in with us to help raise my children while my wife was sick. So yeah, I had support. I had help. But it was never help for me.
It wasn't direct help. It was help.
It was help for your family. I'll help feed your kids. I'll help get them off to school. You go to work, keep earning some money. Again, the money's the devil of all shit.
The money is really, like, I'm realizing that.
Yeah, she's sick, I'm working, and my mom was there helping, take out. I couldn't have done it without my mother. And
Correct.
She knows how grateful I am. But I don't ever think she even asked me if I'm okay.
Is it one of those things about, like, be a man? Do you think, like, in our society, is that why you didn't? If the roles were reversed and you had the cancer and you were going through this, do you think someone would have stopped to say, and how's your wife doing? And how's your wife doing? Or was it more like, well, be a man, you're a man, do it, suck it up.
Be strong,
I don't know, I'm just asking, like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, there are support groups and all of this and all that, and I'm very closed off. I have very few friends. I mean,
Yeah.
So at that time, I didn't have my friends, you know, that I did have coming in asking me for anything, because it's like, well, this is a personal thing for you. I'll let you deal with it. But damn, just say, how you doing, bud? You know?
Because in truth be told, you weren't doing well. Is that fair? Like no one asked you, but if they did and you were being honest, you would have been like, I'm not doing that well. This is really hard for me. I am on the an end of my rope here, you know?
I did have one friend say, hey, if you want to go get a drink, let me know. That was as much reaching out as I ever got. If you want to go get a drink, bud, when the fuck was I supposed to get a drink? Between working and taking care of my family, and
it's more like come over, like you know, like that's an element that people don't understand. Let's go somewhere that benefits me too. Like I'll go to get a drink. If you really want to do that, just come over. Just come over and help me. Do that. Like I don't want to get a drink. Why would I need to turn to alcohol? Like if you want to turn to alcohol, let me know. I'll be there. Like what?
Yeah. So I mean, it was rough.
You go this way?
Yeah.
Cool.
As I said, we'll get around.
Yeah. And so that's the kind of thing that I see happening, and I get disappointed about that in the sense, like, I see your situation, I've heard about it, I see two people who stuck it out. It's not like you guys never fought before and you guys didn't fight after, but the fact that during that time it was, I really truly care, and I care about the things that I said and how I want to take this marriage. And so I'm going to, in your time of sickness, be there, because it's not just the physical illness, then it became the mental illness, and at no point did I see you go, hands up in the air, I quit, and it's out on you. You're the sick one, you're the bad one, I'm taking these kids and I have the job and I'm gonna clock in tomorrow and I'm gonna throw you to the wolves. And then I see my situation and
we're gonna hit mowers anywhere we go.
It's Monday mow day. Then I see my situation and I see that it was stacked. I believe, like there's a argument to be made that there was certain, you know, things done so that it would be out on him, right? Get him, everyone get him and get him away from me and make it court ordered that he can't come by me. And it's like, where's the love? I guess, you know, like where's the I loved this man? And
see, if we want to touch on legacy a little bit, right? My parents are still together. They've been together. That's my model of how a relationship should go. Correct. Right? So that legacy, the model that's been presented to me is you stick it out.
You stick it out.
I mean, even if shit's bad, my dad always talked to me about how upset he was with life, and like I do to my daughter, kind of, you know?
But you stick it out.
And you stick it out, you know? My father had a stroke right before 2000, and my mom's taking care of him, you know.
And as you said, they're still together.
Yeah,
the lineage of both of me and the like the situation with myself is I have a broken
divorced family.
Yeah, I have my, you know, parents have both been married multiple times. Her parents have been married multiple times. So when divorce comes up in the conversation, instead of saying, no, marriage you stick out through thick and thin, rich and poor, death to your part kind of stuff, it's divorce isn't the worst thing in the world, look at me. Yeah. Divorce is okay, you'll get through this. Yeah. And it's a whole different perspective of things aren't going well, they should be going well, your marriage should be easy. If it's not, get out. And get out in such a way that you win. Get out in such a way that you get what you want that was good in it, say it be the assets or kids. Get out in a way that you take what you liked from it and move on, and hope that the other part just cripples and dies. And if it's not going to
doesn't become an issue anymore.
Yeah, like that
you can completely ignore
harm, or like you said, maybe it actually initially set up the deck so that the burden's so hard to bear that it harms that person by you doing nothing. You can put your hands up and go, I'm not doing anything. No, this is court ordered stuff, and this is just the way the world works. And so, like, crush the you know, your prior significant other with money problems and legality issues and stuff. Crush them with those things, because at that point you're not even fighting the fight. The state fights your fight, and capitalism fights your fight for you.
You have to admit right off the bat that the kids add this huge layer of a whole other thing. You've been through breakups before. You've been in long-term relationships where like this is over, and you move on. It's like, okay, well, that lady's not my life anymore.
Correct. Like your high school sweetheart and stuff like that.
Kids are never not going to be in your life. So that is a huge factor that you can't just be like, oh, well, it didn't work out, we had to split up. You have kids. No. I mean, the kids become a...
And I think that's one, it's a good point to address. Like, we have kids, well, we're going to be in each other's lives forever. But the angle that's being played, I believe, the way that the gears have been placed already is, let's do all we can initially so that in the long run, it's impossible to sustain for him to sustain a good, healthy relationship with the kids. So then we can say it's better off he's not here, because it's unhealthy, it's dysfunctional. He's so distraught through all these things that, court, can you please get him out of the lives legally, forfeit custody, forfeit parental rights. It's not healthy for him to actually see the kids anymore. And so that's the problem. So that connection has already had an attack on it.
And see, I see all these mixed families, these situations, you know, my son's friends, you know, he's got a mom and dad that have been separated for a long time. They have Sunday dinner together. You know, it's like,
I don't see that happening.
Like, let's all still get together for the kids. Like, let's put them first. And
the weird thing is, it could have gone that way. I would be open to something like that. It was,
hey, you don't want to be with me? Fine.
Yeah. Let's work this out some other way.
Okay.
It was, no, I don't want to be with you, and I don't want you anything, and I don't want my kids having, like, your kids have anything to do with you. See him over a computer screen, and be lucky I set that up, you know. And that is, it's a weird thing, because if that's, now it determines again, is that right or wrong? That's the way it's being played. I believe that's wrong, that it's being played out wrong. And someone else is going to say, yeah, but it's lawful.
Yeah, I'm going to interrupt again. Look at that hawk.
Oh, look at that hawk.
That was a big hawk.
Good thing you said that, because it kind of like flying out of the view.
Yeah, it was sitting on the wire there. Yeah, just majesty.
Yeah.
All around us.
No, it's a beautiful, I mean, that's part of the best part. I wish to take a few pictures of this and show, like, on the, instead of having just that picture on the on the YouTube video, it'll be like pictures of what you see on the walk. And artwork or whatever, right? Yeah. And then we're talking. No, it's fine. It is. That's the best part about this, is just ad-libbing a conversation. So again, I mean, we don't have to stay on the sun, but my legacy is crushed. Yeah. Like the best part of my life, or that I was looking forward to personally, was fatherhood. Yeah. So I was really looking forward to fatherhood. And that's what is being destroyed, is my experience with fatherhood. It didn't match, you know, the other person, so why not just take yours away? I get my version of motherhood. You don't get the version of fatherhood. You just don't get one. And ha ha ha. Next time, next what? Life? In your next life, maybe you'll do better.
Good luck.
Right. And it's kind of sad, like, and that's the thing that I don't think the kids will get over, is as long as I'm living and there is that still connection, whether it's I'm actually in their life through a video or I'm holding them, like, they're gonna know, because on the paper it exists and there are pictures when they were two. That is my dad. That's what he looked like. That was his name. Here's some songs he wrote. Here's some letters he wrote us. And so I did have a dad, and my perspective of it was, you would have had a dad in your life who worked for the family, and he just needed to get himself together, and because that was an issue, you were taken away. And I had no say in how that went down. That was all about $13,000 attorneys and using the state to run a criminal defense, you know, a criminal case on me. You didn't have to do it that way. You wanted it to be done that way, specifically because someone you do care about was urging you, do it this way, this is fun, this is how you win. And you don't win, no one wins when you destroy a family. But if you have more time with the kids.
By crushing an individual.
Yeah. And putting your kids through a fatherless life.
You needed support. You needed someone to help.
While I was in the marriage, I needed support.
You needed someone to help you through whatever issue
Yeah, and someone sitting there telling you, you're fucking crazy. I fucking think you're stupid and crazy and lazy. Isn't support. You need someone who knows how to calm you down. You need someone who knows how to word things.
Or even just say, you're going through some bad shit, let's get you some help.
Yeah.
Like even.
And I don't think that didn't exist though, dude. Like to be completely honest, it wasn't that that my mental health wasn't questioned before.
Though,
it was
to get help would have been to concede.
Correct.
To have been like, yeah, you did say I was crazy. Here I am. I'm crazy.
Oh, he's crazy then.
You win.
Yeah, like to go. Okay, let's do this. And it wasn't that I didn't. Like there's clear-cut evidence that in January, I was like, there is something up. I think it's with both of us. We should get marriage counseling. Too late for that. Too late to work on our marriage. Too late.
And that was her decision.
And I guess I didn't take that as, I guess I kept fighting. Like, I'm not giving up on you, whether you give up on me not. Like, maybe I should have seen the betrayal coming, but I'm here because I said I'd be through whatever it is that's up with your mental health, whatever it is that's up with my mental health. It's not so super severe. We should go address these situations. I'm out.
See, I like to think that I know you well enough that if the shoe were on the other foot, you'd be supportive.
I think hands down I would.
You're like, you're going through some shit. I'll be here to take care of this. You take care of you.
I'm still supportive. I feel like, and people think that that's what makes me have mental health issues, is that I'm still sitting here like, well, you can renege, whatever, the divorce. You can say, you know, buyer's remorse for your divorce. You can say, you know, you can set the boundary. You can go this far with it, but then go, hey, listen, if this happens again, now you know what's going to happen. Yeah. And I guess I have some hope that that's what's going to come, because what going through with it is such a horrible thing to do to someone you love, if you even love them. And if you don't love them, it's still a horrible thing to do to the father or mother of the person you have kids with in that bond. Now, if you don't care, then, and I say that this is the worst element of it, this is what the frustration comes from. To not care about how this is resolved is in at least one element to not care about if it affects your kids. And to put your kids in a position where you have to essentially say, you're gonna take a hit. I think you'll get over it. I don't know if you will, can't promise you will, but I need you to take this hit for mommy or for daddy. I need you to take this hit because I need it better, and even at your own, even at the cost of you. And the argument there is, well, the kids don't deserve to see this dysfunction in mommy or daddy, so I don't want them to see me all dysfunctional, so I need them to take this hit, and I need you to be the one who takes the major blows, which is weird, because if that's wrong, how come my dysfunction's okay for them to see, but yours wasn't? Yeah. How come my demise is okay to be in existence, and flamboyantly, like, here, look at him, watch him suffer, everyone watch him suffer, because this is all public record at some point. But
maybe, again, I'm speculating, I'm not trying to make you look like the bad guy or anything, but maybe, like I said, how everything's already been set in motion, everything's already rolling, right? Maybe her thought process, again, I can't speak for her, but maybe her thought process was like, whatever happens, my kids will be better off without him. Whatever happens, she's already made that call, already made that decision.
They'll be better off without you.
I don't care if you get better, they'll be better off without you.
I think that's a very good.
That was her thought, and then it's like,
that's the foundation for everything else.
They'll be better off without you. Click, pull the plug, you know, trigger, whatever, and now everything's in motion.
They'll be better off without you.
The thought of they'll be better off without you is,
now, is it they will or I will?
Oh, they will. The kids will be better off without you.
But specifically, she will too.
Oh, and her too.
I will be way better off.
We will be better off.
We will be better off without you.
And I think that may be the premise on what the entire argument's based upon.
we're better off without you.
We're better off without
You want to just hop across the street so we can
get one way or the other.
either way we'll get smacked up. And how do you think that makes me fil?
Yeah, I know, man. I apologize. Yeah.
I got it, but you don't want to wear a mic, so we got these new mics and he won't wear one. Okay. He's just gonna complain about the sound quality.
I'm not gonna complain.
They should move over. I'll move over a little bit and you can walk on the line.
Okay. I don't mind going direct.
Yeah. I guess that's the hard pill to swallow, dude, is to realize whatever I was doing, if there was an issue, and that issue is I didn't cause it, I could try to control it, but I can't cure it, kind of thing. That's all being weaponized against me. We don't like your issue that you didn't cause. We know that we can't control it, and we know that we can't cure it. We don't like that. So get to getting, kick rocks.
Yeah, like get out.
Yeah, and you know what's weird? And this is, I guess, why I wanted to talk about legacy. God damn, dude.
A lot of cars. We shouldn't have gone this way either.
Yeah, there's no way you can go on a Monday. When I talk about legacy, I think about where what can I build from this? And that's what a lot of my friends and family are talking about is, this is the end of you. This is now your chance to live out your destiny. This is going to promote your destiny. This is
a beginning of a new you.
This is the beginning of a new you at 34 years old. This is the new you.
How new age bullshit is that?
I'm getting to the point where it's like, fuck you, dude. Like the new me, I have 3 kids and I will only want to be a father. Yeah. Okay, well, this is the new you. What do you want me to have 3 more? Yeah. And how, you know what the cost of that is? I have 0 job. We just talked about the way I can't get one or hold one down. So the new me is trying to go into what? Business for myself, okay? And if that produces a buttload of money, run through the hypothetical, oh, I have a buttload of money, but you still weren't a good father. Because I'd have to focus on my business 20 hours a day or whatever, you know, and so it would be, it doesn't seem like saying, this is your opportunity to grow is
beneficial for you.
That doesn't land.
Not helpful.
No, it's like grow into what? A bad father. Now I can actually grow into when I was a good father, I can actually grow into being a bad father, an absentee father on purpose.
And see, that was like the analogy I gave you before, where people are like, well, at least you're not homeless. So I'm supposed to go to a homeless person and go, man, I'm glad I ain't you.
Aha, yeah.
I know that's not what the intent behind that statement.
No, but that's what they're saying to me is, it could be worse. You could be.
Hey, you get a restart button.
You have a restart.
What
Here's
about
the thing.
The whole fucking past I just went through 34 years.
Well over, 34 years old, but at least 16 years of trying and building something that may have been just blindsidedly cut because I mean, at 2004, I went into college. Yeah. I went into college for 5 years to get a certain degree. That degree is now can't use. That time was now useless. Even if I have a bachelor's degree and a job says we want a bachelor's degree, then they look into the background and go, yeah, but you're not getting this job for that either. So good luck. And so you count up, plus there's the 8-year relationship, 5-year marriage. You count up all these things and it just ends up being a waste of time. It was a huge chunk of your days and time that you've wasted. All the best years of your life are behind you. Get ready to struggle.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, what do I struggle for? Well, it's not to see your kids. You can struggle all you want, and you are still not going to be in your kid's life.
Well, again, you don't know that for certain, but
that's what everyone says. You don't know that. That's me overthinking it.
If this is you at this point, and everything, all the hurdles that are in front of you, you're like, I can't scale that 50-foot wall.
Yeah.
But here's a 60-foot rope, buddy.
Yeah.
When are you gonna get it?
Yeah.
You never know, but you could, maybe find a rope to help you get over that wall. What is that? I can't give you an answer.
Well, you got it. I mean, in that sense, and that's the struggles of where my anxiety comes from is I can't give up. So I understand I can't give up. All right, I'm not giving up. But at the same time, I'm just kind of like, people are asking me to do something, and I'm like, yeah, but it's really hard for me, and I don't understand how to do it. Well, you can't give up. Okay, I'm not going to give up. hey, something bad happened while you weren't in life in general. Now you're sick. Okay, well, who can I turn to? No one. At what point does it just take you over?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I'm not giving up. And again, that's like saying to a person who has cancer, who you've been like clearly is stage 4, chemo didn't work. You're on your deathbed. You've got less than 2 hours, and they're like, well, you just can't give up. You just don't give up. You'll make it. And you're like, wait, time out.
Like based on what evidence?
Oh yeah, like how many things stack up against you where it's no. I mean, try not to give up, but at the same time, like.
Well, without joking, there's a thing called hospice care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You did laugh after you said that, though.
Sorry.
No, I get it. I think of it's that quote from that movie Team America, where you just go, and I will never die. And you go, no matter how boldly you say that, it's bullshit. You know, like
everyone dies.
I will never die, and you go, I will get over this.
Oh.
I will be a stronger person after this.
What's my Fight Club quote? On a long enough timeline, everyone's life expectancy goes to 0.
There you go.
Right? Like,
yeah.
You're all gonna die, man.
Everyone dies. Everybody dies.
And again, to hit on a small like idea of legacy, right? Do you remember your great-great-grandfather's name?
Oh, my great-great-grand? No, I know that one guy's name was Beeb.
I'm just saying, like, that's how much of a legacy you're gonna have.
Unless if you actually hit some crazy legacy, like Henry Ford. You know, like I'm a relative of Henry Ford, where that guy, you know, did his thing, right?
Exactly. But I mean, even like someone who does, like, I don't know, the inventor of like plastic or some shit, right?
Yeah.
Who is that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Who created vinyl records? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just shit like, even like huge, not huge, but important things, like the legacy of those just disappear. I mean, your relevance in this world spans maybe 200 years. I was gonna say, and as technology increases, it seems to span less. So it seems to be like, although you can look up all these people, all these names, you really know, you know, like what your father and your grandfather did. That's what, like, that's what I feel like the real impact of legacy is. I know my father's name. I know my grandfather's name. I know the next generation, you know, like, but it doesn't matter what they've done. It just, I know their names and I know, like, about their lives. So when I talk about my legacy, it's not, I'm worried what my sisters and my brothers will think of what I've done with my life. It's my daughters, right? That's the key point, and I think that would be the same for you. Well, your legacy speaks probably primarily to your kids and what they think of you, and maybe your grandkids, right? Definitely, yeah.
So,
and outside of that, I mean, again, I tapped on it just briefly, but the recorded history, you know, what's been put down, what do you have that can be shared past your lifetime?
Correct.
And I mean, as silly as it sounds, this could be a legacy, this podcast.
Well, they'll be there. I mean,
it's recorded history, right? You listen to this, my great-grandkids can listen. Oh, that's what great-grandpa went through. That must have sucked.
He sounds like a horrible, disgruntled person. Yeah.
But then, on the personal legacy, like, am I leaving a cynical view of the world on my daughter, on my son? Is that what I'm giving them?
Oh, like in the immediate, like, well, not with these videos or this stuff, but with the actual way you conduct yourself in life. Yeah.
And, you know, hearing my daughter talk, I mean, she even recorded stuff, and it's like, I get that I'm cynical, and I get that I influence my children, but it almost made me stop.
Stop
and go, geez, that's how bad she thinks things are. That's how bad I think things are, but does she really think that too? Man, what did I do? You know?
Besides try to be a good father, right?
Be honest.
At least be honest with them, right?
Here's preparation for how bad things can be. Be ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's troubling, because as we transverse 2020 and beyond, we have our eyes open to more new things with technology. So when you look at videos, you can see like the Floyd getting the knee on his throat or on his neck. Yeah, that'll be on there. You could try to take him off, but it'll be on there. Videos that I've posted will be on there. Songs I've recorded will be on there. Now, unless if everything goes to shit, Armageddon happens, they'll be on there, you know? So then there's that element of I have more stuff out digitally than most people because I put it out there. And so here's elements of me for my kids or my kids' kids, whatever they want. But then when it comes to impact on their life rather than just works of art, and then you can contribute it to like Kurt Cobain. Plenty of works of art that everyone knows, but he died when Francis Bean Cobain was like 2 or 3 years old, or 4, you know, under 4 years old, right? So you can have all these works of art, but what about the actual impact you had on your child? And so I can have all these things I've done, but what about the actual impact of holding and taking care of the kid because they needed a meal, or they had a bad dream, or this kind of stuff? And that's the whole attack of doing it this way, was let's take away
the potential to have a legacy.
Yeah, fatherhood. And by taking away fatherhood, we take away unconditional love. The child, because the child will grow up, and right now they have unconditional love. Oh, it's daddy, it's daddy. But let's take that away. Let's weaponize these children's unconditional love so that when they're 16, it's, I fucking hate my dad. He wasn't even there for me. He wasn't even there. I don't even understand why, but I just fucking hate him. You know?
See, the unfortunate thing, the really unfortunate thing, I don't want to bring it down even more. Your kids won't have a memory of any of this.
No, they won't.
They won't know that you tried. Other than pictures,
well, some letters they maybe they lose.
Recorded legacy that you're trying to make for them. They're not going to know. You know, again, what's your earliest memory? Maybe 5, maybe 6 years old?
I think mine, my first memory is around 3 to 4 years old. I think if I put it like back, and it's really hazy, you know.
Exactly.
It's really hazy.
Somebody's account that was told to you that you
more like
remember.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, your first memory, I mean, really, if you rely on your memory, it's probably like 8 or 9. You know.
A vivid memory.
A vivid memory of something that may have happened to you, unless it was traumatic or.
Well, and that's my first memory. It was traumatic, getting bit by a dog in my face. So I kind of remember that dog and what I did, and that was it. Other than that, it's like everything else that happened, I was blacking out, you know. So, and I get that, and that's probably one of the hurtful things about this is someone's attempt to erase your memory or legacy. That's what this is. This is good father, blah. I can erase that over time. And it's not, and it hurts because
that never existed.
The memories you have of thinking you had a good father were immature and not really concrete. The ones that you have going from 6 to 12, those are the ones that are going to be more concrete. Judge your father off of those years. Where is he? Where is he? Call him. Oh, he didn't pick up? Call him. Oh, he's not in the same state? Call. And that's what was premeditated, knowing that would have to happen in order for you to get what you wanted was what you calculated. Fine, I will do that.
Do you know that song, Father of Mine?
I love.
You've been,
right?
Like, again, it does sound like he abandoned his kids, but that's from the kid's viewpoint. Right? I'm not saying this guy was good. I don't know the whole story behind any of it, but like the song itself was from a kid's viewpoint. Like, you abandoned me, you left me alone. Give me a $5 birthday card.
When you look back at your wasted life and you don't see me.
And it's like, was that the father's perspective? You know?
I know, it would be good to know that.
Like, hey,
that's Everclear, by the way, who sings it. Everclear.
And it'd be like, I really tried for my kid, but you know, I couldn't be there. You don't know all the circumstances. Maybe he was a huge piece of shit, because I don't know why else.
No, I know what you're saying, but the song in itself, like, that would be like my daughter writing a song when she's old enough to put things together, and putting her perspective into the song.
Where was that?
And I'm sitting there like,
even try.
Dude, you don't even know how hard I tried. And what am I supposed to do? Villainize the other parts and like, that's not fair to them either.
No.
You know, so I either have to take it in silence, suffer in silence, and write my letters and say I miss my kids and let them have their own perspective about me, because the other part of that is to try to villainize both parents so that the kids get real messed up. And that's the saddest part. Is one person's gonna villainize you, and if you play that game, you're just as guilty as as what you know is wrong.
Well,
And
I say you continue to do the best that you can with what you have.
I think I will.
And manage the situations that you can manage now, and the things that you can't predict or can't control. Do as much as you can to control them, but also realize when you got to let go.
And hopefully in the end I do have a decent legacy that I've if that advice is true, like I built my destiny and I found out a different legacy, because only time will tell, right? So
that's it. Time
and not the
equalizer.
Well, we're gonna sign off for today. Go ahead and do your thing, buddy.
Yeah, like I said, we always end up talking about more than we need to.
Yeah.
And go down roads we don't intend, but we're going to go down this road and head back home. So if you're going to go fast, go alone. If you're going to go far, go together. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Cock of the Walk Podcast. Please check us out and let me know what I should do.
Later.
Hey, this is Brendan from Cock of the Walk Podcast. If you like what you heard, you can support us just by sharing the link. That's the most important thing, is to get the word out. If you want to go beyond that, you can do donations. You can become a member and subscribe, or you can even buy some merch. You can find us at www.halfmoonday.com. We are a Half Moon Day LLC production. You can also reach us directly with comments, questions, or topics you want us to discuss at CockoftheWalkPodcast@gmail.com or CockoftheWalkPodcast@AOL.com. We also have a Facebook, and you can find us on YouTube under the Half Moon Day page. On behalf of myself and Shaun, thank you very much for tuning in. We know there's a lot of podcasts out there, and we appreciate your time. Have a good day.